for about 7 rounds.
Yeah, and then from that point onwards, they're not so great. But the first 7 were fantastic. You're right, and I'm hoping we could see a good return to form here. Now, if you want to know why Valve are the best company in the world, it is because you know, we were saying, Jason, how we haven't had the longest of breaks. You didn't get to eat any dinner earlier. That was your own doing. But then they came in for us. You know, they came in clutch, and they threw the update in. That gave us a nice, what, half an hour for you to go get some food.
That was good. I ate an orange during that break. It's quite nice. Got some vitamin C.
I mean, it's vitamin, but yeah, you know, you can call it a vitamin.
It's not vitamin. That just sounds ridiculous. As you can see, still waiting. Some of the players haven't got the memo that we're all ready to go. That was Rambo sacrificing himself to the gods to go to this spectating slot for the coach. And here you see the restarts coming in. So compLexity going to be starting on this CT side. And we're going to kick things off. FNS is going to have Smoke and a kit. 1 player with utility on Luminosity. That's Smoke Flash. Now, we saw yesterday during their T-side Luminosity, they did on the pistol round, but mostly in the gun rounds, obviously, is a default setup where 3 players went out towards A halls and just kind of pushed anyone back. Didn't really take control, and they did a lot of falling back towards the B bomb site. So if compLexity can get that read in, that could be very nice for them moving forward. There's no presence for Luminosity anywhere really near the A bomb site. Just 1 player, Showtime, is over there. Dropped a decoy, being aggressive, just seeing if anyone's pushed up. This is going to be very superficial presence for them, and it's all waiting for a timing to hit this B bomb site.
Yeah, it's good having Showtime there early on. We know how common it is to go for that early information peek out through long or mid. I mean, you get so much information from that 1 peek, usually in the pistol round. So you have him there to keep an eye on that, and potentially could try and fake this out. He's making a decent bit of noise, and PTR will have heard some of that as he does come his way. And that's actually enough to start to pull a couple of rotations their way. Yeah, he's kind of started to move off, now holding down beneath to connect the window, but Android peeked into that, didn't spot anyone. They all go ahead and manage to hide away. Now it's FNS going down next with inside of the site. Rotations coming in, but they are taking a little while to get there, and yay, they couldn't come soon enough for him as he gets shut down as well. It's all on PTR, and this round has gone disastrously for compLexity. 1v5, and PTR, well, he's able to get 1, but they're going to go hunting for him. The knife was out just there. He's in with a second, but PKL shuts him down. And Luminosity, they do manage to find the pistol.
Yeah, that presence over towards A down the stretch, it was only 1 player, and I think they could have known that, but it didn't really force a rotate, but what it did do is pull Android up the stairs, trying to get information, trying to see if that was kind of, you know, because if he swings out and spots, you know, some players at B, then they kind of know that the force at long A isn't that big. They know that they don't have to rotate. It's not necessarily a dedicated hit, and it pulls them right into the angle of that flashbang. So really well done from Luminosity, finding a good timing. And a pretty easy pistol round, all things considered, once that kill came out. 4 CZs on the board for compLexity. We saw Luminosity lose a similar round yesterday against SK, against just CZs. As I said that, though, I remembered that was when Luminosity on the CT side, so that has no application here.
Yeah, now they are up against compLexity as well, which you could definitely make the argument that that is a bit of a lesser beast than SK. And well, they've already started rotations over here towards this A bomb site. They've actually stacked 4 players inside of the site. PTR, he's down in connector with that scout. Not really the ideal place for it, although as the rest of the guys from Luminosity rotating towards mid, it looks like they are going to play for this A bomb site. They haven't really done too much scouting of their own over here towards B, nor A, so they have no information. They're going to be going in blind, and with only 35 seconds, they have to commit to this. They're going to go running into the onslaught. There you go. Death's double down in mid. And they're going to start to regret this decision. The bomb's now out in the open. They started trying to rotate away. They have to go back for the bomb. And is there enough time for a rotation to come in? It's going to be damn close as Yay. He has slowed stuff down. The bomb starts to go back. And there will be enough time for this rotation.
Peter should be getting into the B bomb site at this point. With no pressure on A, he should be getting into a better position. He's now going to hear the drop. He just needs 1 kill. There's the scout shot. He has tagged him. They're low. They're both low, and there it is. He's done it. He saved the round. Luminosity lose by time. That was a very bold rotation, as you said, and any defense that was mounted by compLexity by PTR there would have done the trick, and it did. 1-1, it's all tied up. compLexity responds in the second.
Yeah, I think, you know, Luminosity perhaps thinking that both players were there, because they go for the kill, and maybe if the bomber just kept running into the site, they could have got it down in time. The second they did take that fight with PTR, that round was a loss. So, the CZs on this map, a bit of a kryptonite for Luminosity. They've got ahead of ball up once again. Force buying down around this AK that was saved up. And Yell going to peek into Def. He's able to find the first. PTR's there to trade. Now Neck is the AK has been juggled into his hands. It's a big responsibility. Showtime finds the next. The Neckers doesn't want to get out here at long. And they do find PKL over here at B, and that's allowed, yeah, a lot of ground. But Cello, how have you made your way through Chop? You hate to see that. Ooh. The accidental jump, the timing couldn't be worse, and now what was looking quite good for Luminosity is quickly been thrust into a 2-on-3, and look at this positioning from Ye.
This was a very scrappy round, and it's obviously could have been salvaged there by Cello, but I think that had to have been a mouse wheel jump. Now, they do know Ye was pushed up when he got his first kill, so they're going to be very wary that he could have this kind of a position, but I think Showtime's about to get dropped here. Shadow gives him away. That's the bomb as well. Looking the wrong way for Neckis, but not a great chance for him to win this 1-on-2 clutch. Although 30 seconds, there could be some fortunate timing, and this isn't a bad play whatsoever. The defense is split one at each of the bomb sites, and he knows if he can go right down the middle, likely he's not going to encounter too much resistance, and indeed, no one's really spotted him yet. FNS is looking this way. Ooh, what a play from that. He might just win this. That Molotov might have done it, but he's not watching for the run-up. Now he is, but he cannot recover in time. FNS comes out of the flames and ends him with a headshot to the unarmored face.
Yeah, now for Luminosity, they're just going to have to kind of take this on the chin and go for the a couple of P250s on the guys that can't afford it. But it is going to be an eco from Luminosity. A chance for compLexity to grab themselves a third round. Aggression from Neckers down middle. Could catch Def off guard as he's got a nade out. That's not great. Neckers doesn't manage to catch the timing. Showtime's here. They've gone ahead and lost PKL once again over here towards long. Yeah, he's able to pick that up. This time, not going to go aggressive. Doesn't want to risk anything against these pistols. But he keeps the aggression going with the AK. Knows he can best them at range. Showtime's the last guy left. He's not looking too healthy as he is tagged down at 32 HP, and he's going to start to push on in.
It's going to be a third for Cole, as they used to be known. Nothing left for Showtime to do but die. So 3-1 is your score after compLexity has a second round rebuttal to losing that pistol round. The AK is going to come back out. Yo, we talked about, wanted to see him bounce back and have a really nice game here. He has started out good, 5-2 for him, but we haven't seen that AWP yet. Haven't had the money in here, obviously, with the buy in this fifth round. They haven't built up enough bank to afford it. Peter has his, though. So it's going to be Def all alone to start at the A bomb site. He's deep in A halls, and here's that default I was talking about. 3 players. They might just come right through this smoke. Def, this could be an awkward timing with the HE. Could do really great damage. Actually, it does. Showtime down to 54. Neck is down to 89. Smoke flash coming over. That is going to be too late. They're going to get past that. At least Neck is. It might have cut him off. No second player came through. But Def has already retreated.
And this time, PKL, he finally gets the better of the man playing along. Android is able to trade. So PKL does finally get dealt with.
He dueled the Alper. He took PTR out at long range. That's quite a nice fight. Couldn't follow it up, but a good start. An important piece of the puzzle. Oh, and FNS overextends. Didn't even realize it. Def is at the base of ramp, and he's got to make a decision. He's either got to get aggressive in towards teammate, and Neckis continues. And Def has made that choice, but the timing is not going to be with him. He's not even looking. Oh, he responds perfectly. Ye with one as well has brought this into a 2-on-2. This is very awkward now, and Def is getting more information, but Ye can't win the fight. Awkward headshot angle, and easy for Neckis. 4 kills on the round for him, continuing his high-impact performance.
Yeah, and you almost hoped that maybe Def was going to defy all expectations, but it just wasn't meant to be. Lands that nice flick with the UMP. Other than that, though, yeah, can't win it out in the 1v2. So Luminosity in with the second round. Going to be a force for compLexity. PTR back on the AWP. Now, this time he's gone ahead and taken that over towards mid. Going to see if he has any more luck here. PKL once again going to be watching for the aggression out long, and it has been a bit of a tough spot for him to be in. He has gone down here a few times. This time there's no aggression coming in from compLexity. And Def, same situation as before. They're going to go and get past the Molotov once again, and that is Neck is opening things up. Rotation going to come in from PTR. He heads back towards A.
I think Neckers may have had a read that Def's Molotov timing was off in the round previous, so with confidence takes that fight. Drop is secured. That's going to make this defense scramble to cover it. TR with that AWP is at the A bomb site. So two players' attention is essentially on drop. Yay with the Deagle is up on B platform. Luminosity now just patiently waiting. They've got great positioning. I imagine there's a world Yell just now using his smoke over towards the A bomb site on A long. He wants to just kind of pull someone away for just a moment, and it's going to work. PTR just started rotating away from this B bomb site. This is all a fake. It's executed by one player. Now the footsteps are in. Android holding it down. Spray with the FAMAS only gets one. There's the Deagle. Can't land the kill. Now they're coming B platform, and that one lands. That's beautifully done. Peter's here now as well, taking out PKL. Now, Luminosity has nowhere to go. They're trapped. Low HP, no options, and Peter's still having impact. Yell not able to get involved.
And I mean, he might not be better save. FNS has progressed all the way in through mid. They don't want to risk throwing anything more away, though, so he will just hold his ground. compLexity in with the fourth round, and once again, time becomes a real problem. Also, Yay, he's been a bit of a beast thus far. And I wouldn't want to be facing him down towards B long. He's had a hell of a lot of success there. Normally it's been PKL in the firing line, but that time, I don't remember who he shuts down on the aggression, I'll be honest. I think maybe it was Showtime. But regardless, it's going to be a fourth round coming in for compLexity. There's no money left for Luminosity. So they do just go for the eco. Yell saved the AK from that previous round, and he's going to be the one looking to try and make a big play to try and get something afoot for Luminosity.
This is something compLexity's defense did real well on the CT side of Inferno. Does not let Luminosity string two rounds together on the T side. It's also interesting to see both of these maps, compLexity able to start on the defense. I'm not sure whose map was technically whose, but Luminosity obviously taking one map and saying we'll start on the T side. Must be nice for compLexity. Luminosity hoping that compLexity is going to make a mistake, try and push up into these pistols. This is desperation. They've got no Molotov, and FNS here is likely going to distract the fact that Yay is waiting. That Molotov is really well timed. They're not going to push through it at all. There it is. There's the peak. Long range spray with the AK-47. 3 kills, even transferring over to Yell at long range. PTR. Cello's going to try and fool him, and he might have... Ooh. Hello. He did do it. Peter's got to be wondering what the hell happened, and another kill. There goes Yay, and all of a sudden this is doable. A duel onto FNS, and Def gonna walk through, and he runs right past the op. Awkward situation, though. There's the jump, and there's the shot. This has got to be won by Android. He's got to push forward. He's getting wrapped from both sides. He's being distracted, and he's out in the open, and Cello is a hero.
I mean, when you see him find that frag on a PTR, you think, okay, maybe he's in with a shot. He has himself the AWP. He's in the back line. And that very quickly gets out of control. They go ahead and lose Yay up next over on platform, and then things go from bad to worse. And I felt like maybe there were a few fights there where they were very certain they'd be able to take out Cello, where they kind of gave him the easy engagements early on, and then things slip away from them.
That's the thing. If they had just let him be in connector with that AWP, like, he can't do anything. He's got to go attack the bomb site to help his teammates. So you get into positions where you can't be shot by the AWP. Surely maybe the second kill after PTR, you're a little surprised at how quick he picked up the AWP, maybe not thinking he was ready, but a lot of blunders that round from compLexity.
They can't afford to be making those sorts of mistakes. Luminosity, they will take that all day long. They're in with the third, but compLexity, they've been good in these 4 spy rounds. They've Got 2 Deegs, split between Android and FNS. The rest of the gang on P250s and CZs. Luminosity heading over here towards B, paying no attention. Look at this positioning of Def, though. He's got so much information, he knows exactly what's going on. Rotations coming in from compLexity. Going to be a 4-on-5 inside the B bomb site, and Luminosity, they go charging in. They're already up close, these unarmored players. Got to face the might of aim punch, but okay. Android and PTR's kickstart. This Android's in with a second. His Deeg knows no bounds. And now it is just Yell left, 1 versus 3. He's making things tricky, but he has been tagged within inches of his life. Starts to push on down. FNS and Ye left to try and win this out. And Yell, it's going to fall short. Ye picks him up. compLexity, they somehow managed to take 1 straight back.
And this is disaster. This is a nightmare for Luminosity. They've got to be scratching their heads. That's now 2 anti-force buys that they've lost. The 2nd round and now the 8th round. So just really preventing themselves from gaining any kind of momentum in this game. And with that investment, they've got nothing here. PKL's got 5,000, but you got to save if you're Luminosity and say, all right, no more of that. We need to get rounds together. We need to string them. That's where we were able to build a lead and maybe take the lead away from compLexity. An interesting turn of events. Those CZs and Deagles doing work for compLexity.
Yeah, giving Luminosity a bit of a taste of their own medicine in that round. And it will just be the eco for Luminosity. Yell has himself a Deeg. PKL could invest in something, but it looks like he's going to keep the extra money. Picks himself up a Deagle, but yeah, they can get off into the next round now, which is nice. And they've got 1 flash to work with behind all of this. 4 players early on over here towards middle. PTR posted up here with the AWP for compLexity. He's going to head over to long. Checks down, watch mid. And actually, Cello's gotten out in through drop. Yell spied out Def, and this is dangerous. Look at how far Cello's been allowed to get there. No one watching drop. How have you let a man get this far into the back? And Cello could get it all done. He tags down Def, and Def's able to win it out. In that split second, though, he had to take his eyes off of mid. Def tagged to 6 HP. It's going to go down. PTR's there to help out. Neckers falls. It's all on PKL. He's 1 versus 4. Shouldn't be able to get too much more done here as he gets flushed out from long into the waiting arms of FNS. He goes down, but there was still a big problem in that round. Somehow Cello gets all the way in through drop into connector and out onto the A-bomb site without anyone from compLexity realizing. Yeah,
at some point, if you that definitely can't happen. But at some point, yeah, if you're Luminosity, you're saying here's 2 areas where they've had a lot of success towards drop. With Cello having a couple rounds, not just that one, but the one previously where he was able to drop PTR and just kind of manhandle the rest of compLexity. And then also towards long A, with that timing of Def on the Molotov, he's missed a couple of them, so that's where they've been able to find some success in opening picks. So I think you go back to that, and that's exactly what Luminosity is doing. The 3-man play out towards long. Once again, it is Def. He's still got the smoke waiting for indication. Nade damage onto Neckers again. They want to challenge that. They want to challenge him. He's dropped all the way back already, though. Dropped the smoke and retreated.
So Cello's gotten down and dropped, but this time there's 2 players either side of it to keep an eye on things. FNS waits on the other side of that smoke. Cello waiting. Now has the man drop down with him. Can he have a boost over? Android, he's waiting, playing it from a bit of an off angle. They've been allowed out, and they got this ground for free last time, so they don't actually anticipate this from Android. He starts running around. They haven't realized, though, and Cello is his back to the man. Now PKL's here. Players closing in from either side, and PKL, you have to win that fight. Now PTR going to turn his attention out towards long. Just Showtime and Yell remain, and they're both going to start to funnel their way in to this CT side defense. It's all on Yell. And as he takes the first, that will be it. He starts a hasty retreat. Maybe if he finds one more in mid, he might try go for this, but he's only got 25 seconds. Gonna take another peek on out. They have since fallen back, so that save, looking like it might get locked in.
I mean, these are all costly kills for compLexity. You don't need to challenge them whatsoever, especially if they can't salvage that AWP that Peter just dropped. So that's an expensive weapon they might want to rebuy. He's able to get anything else at the end, and he is. Def walks right into it. No need for this, boys. Very expensive round for compLexity in a win. They have the money to kind of handle it, but you don't want the economy to come low. This stage in the game, I mean, you have Luminosity kind of on the ropes at this point with only 5 rounds remaining. If your economy ever gets broke, you allow them right back into it. So some mistakes, some smaller mistakes from compLexity right at the end, but still sitting nicely. Peter is going to rebuy that AWP. Android is very lucky in defending drop, between his timing of pulling out the nade when Cello drops out to transferring to the AK-47, as I think that was PKL who was up next, and both of them not able to handle him. Both of them missed the opportunity to get that kill. Very, very fortunate. Tactical timeout for Luminosity. That's their second. And remember, we could be looking at a very different game. Luminosity has lost 2 anti-force buys after they've kind of taken control after pistol and 1 later. That's allowing compLexity. That gave them a lot of opportunities to grab control of the match right back in their favor.
Luminosity, I kind of like this idea. They've gone for the AWP up on Yell, and then the rest of them with PT50 just going to go rushing in, try and pay on the back of Yell. But that will stop you. Double incendiary goes down over here at long. Yell's going to be sent back. I guess the idea there is they had success with the AWP in rounds prior. They're going to try and use Yell as the catalyst in these rounds. Now Leon over there at B does get put to a stop. The brakes have been applied. Now Luminosity, they've got ahead and started to fall back. Ye's boosted up on the tree. FNS is holding. I think that's from the broken wall, but he might be up on platform. Luminosity, they've come to a standstill down in mid. Cello. Right now, if he goes down drop, he gets control once again, and we could see same sort of scenario as we saw in rounds prior, where he gets all the way down for free. No one from compLexity keeping an eye on this. PTR's looking towards long. Def is watching mid. 3 players inside the B bomb site. So Luminosity, they just get dropped down for free. And now PTR starts to rotate away from A. FNS is going to be holding it down here from the broken wall, but Yell finds it with the AWP. Now Ye tries to turn his attention back round, but he's going to go down as well. It all falls onto Android. He has to try and make one hell of a stand, and he will. 3 massive frags. That's the bomb dropped. And in spite of Yell's heroics, he still has to give that much more to keep Luminosity in this. But Yell is absolutely insane. He's in with 4 frags. And now who's going to make the bigger play, Android or Yell? One of them has to get this job done. Android's over on short. Yell's inside the site. Either one of them has to now ace this for the win. What way is it going to go? Android is the one to finish it. And that'll be compLexity in with another round. But what kind of a round was that, Jason? You're shaking your head. I've never seen a situation where one of the 2 players clutching us to ace.
That is a very nutty round. That's an old school way of taking that B bomb site as well. We used to see very, very much terrorist teams get position and drop and hold control and use an AWP to peer into that B bomb site and get picks. It still gets used once in a while today, but it's not as popular. Obviously, Yell doing a really good job. They had to rely on him. Android as well. He was... I mean, compLexity's very fortunate. The AWP was the only weapon Luminosity brought into that round, so almost able to make it happen, but look at that. Ye swings out wide into the 3 players. Molotov down. That's not going to prevent them from coming down broken wall. FNS blind spraying. He's dropped next. Once again, Android has to do it all. He gets 1 kill, can't control for the second. And compLexity, they're out of the fight. It's going to be a Luminosity round, only losing 1 player. Double kill for PKL. Very disjointed defense, as each fight was 1 by 1 by 1 by the defenders here. One final chance for Luminosity to make this a competitive half. Cannot lose the ensuing round.
Yeah, Luminosity. They are able to keep 4 players alive here, which is good. And that's some build up that economy, and that's been a reoccurring problem, although Yell is going to go down. Showtime looks to go hunting as well. They don't really want to throw too much more at this compLexity side. They can't afford to lose much. I mean, Def might even try and go for that AK that's down in mid. He's content with the UMP. But, yeah, Luminosity with a 4th. And as you say, this is their last chance to salvage this half. If they lose this, well, they did keep 3 players alive, so
yeah,
they've got rebuy.
They've got money, but I mean, I don't think they've strung rounds together once. I think it's always been individual rounds and the follow-up loss. So, I mean, if they win this, they have a great shot of making this an 8-7 half, which would be incredible considering the fact that they lost against CZs twice in this very half. So, if they can recover to that level, very impressive and very important. So, We'll see if they've got it in them. 5 AK-47s. It's only Def at this A bomb site, and Luminosity's going for the uppercut. They just want to hit a timing here, and they've just about found it. FNS is rotating on the way back, but he's going to be blocked off by smoke. It's just 2 UMPs here. What can Def actually do? And it's nothing. That's too much for him to handle. Nekaz is so impactful on the entries. And compLexity have to sit this round out. If they actually go for it, likely they lose everything. And yes, you can see there from the scoreboard, this will be the first time Luminosity wins 2 in a row. So compLexity going to survive with that AWP, with the M4 on Ye. They're going to survive to fight another day.
Yeah, and for compLexity, if they can keep 4 players alive, that's not the worst outcome here. I mean, they lose the round. Luminosity get 2 in a row, and that should secure buys now to the end of the half. But that chance to go ahead and make it an 8-7 half isn't there just yet. There's still going to be money for compLexity. They can still get a decent buy together with all the weapons carried forward. Def's going to be a little bit limited. But if they lose anything, you know, if they had gone for that retake and they lost it, as you say, an 8-7 half is looking more than likely. So we managed to stay afloat. Luminosity are back with a 5th round, taking perhaps a leaf out of SK's book from their matchup the other day. We saw that it was Luminosity who actually lost in that exact same fashion to SK with the quick play up in towards A. They're kind of they're very good at with the uppercut, as you often seem to call it, Jason.
Yeah, I like that term, the uppercut, because it's just like I mean, I guess it's you could call it a knockout punch as well if you wanted to go for that. But boxing metaphor seems fitting because it's just so aggressive. 5 to 8. Same defensive strategy by compLexity, just Def over towards A. This time he's just got the lonely Deagle, so a lot of confidence in him. Surely at some point, someone will rotate back to help him out because he is going to be under pressure pretty soon. Over towards A. And since he's playing so far back, when he gets the information, it might be too late to respond. compLexity obviously putting faith in taking a bit of a gamble that Luminosity won't hit the same bomb site twice in a row. Yeah, looks like they'd be wrong. Yeah,
gambling doesn't always pay off. The bomb's going to get picked up. Rotates back towards A. Def, he's jump peeking for the info. They're going to have a little bit of time as the flashes and smokes rain in. You're going to be relying here very heavily on the man with just a Deeg and a utility to buy you some time. And, well, it's my countryman. The Brit inside the site tries to get the job done, and he doesn't manage to find anything. He goes down. Just PTR. Oh, this is awkward. Cello. It's going to go down to Ye, but ultimately it's a 6th round for Luminosity with only 2 players saving. You really hate to see that for compLexity. They take the gamble, and it does not work out for them.
Yeah, Luminosity just slowly hitting that A bomb site, not even doing anything tricky. It's just walk up long, you've met no resistance, throw the execute, still no resistance until you get to the bomb site, and that's the fundamental flaw in that play from compLexity. If you're going to leave one player there, it might as well be someone with an M4, something that can actually do damage and hold things off. They're going to lose everything here. Luminosity's on the hunt. Peter's missed 2 shots, and the repeat seals it. And now they're going to have close to nothing. Peter has an M4. And that's it. Miguel's going to switch over to that AWP. You wanted him to do better than the first map, Harry, and he's 18-7. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, he has woken up. And, you know, Inferno, not the most AWP-friendly of maps. As we said, cbble definitely is, and that's showing right now, reflecting in his scoreline. Nekaz, well, he's already in mid. He's a very confident fella. He's already completely bypassed his defense, and showtime, he's able to get himself one. He does go down, but look at Nekaz. They've got no idea that this man has gotten so far into the back line. Whoop, Android's there to discover him, but Nekaz wins the duel. Manify is taken for Luminosity. Nekaz has kind of been left to fend for himself here. Fed to the wolves down in mid. But he's going to go down for the greater good as Ye doesn't last down in B. Nekaz is here. He will fall. That's an AK picked up. It's 2 versus 3 with bomb planted. No defuse kit up on compLexity. Time is very much of the essence. They've got 1 smoke. Kit's going to be retrieved by Def. Flash picked up now as well. but they've been locked out the site. That second smoke goes in, and at this point, they're really going to have to start to force the issue up through these smokes. There was so much utility left for Luminosity. It's PTR and Def. Backs against the wall. Time is so incredibly low, and Def peeks on out. Yell misses that first shot, but he won't miss it twice. You can almost guarantee it, but okay, Def's lined up too. PKL trades it back. Started to believe there was so little time though, and Luminosity will be in with the 7th. It's an 8-7 half, Jason.
Yeah, that's a great recovery. I think they won the last 4 rounds in a row. So it was looking dire for a certain period of time, and then finally they're able to do it, and they're able to sustain. That could have been a very dominant half for Luminosity. The struggles with the anti-ecos and the anti-force buys are real. Great half from Yell. This was a brilliant round that he's almost able to pull off single-handedly, but an even bigger one from Android with 4 kills into the one-on-one clutch and winning it out in the end. So, as close as the half could possibly get, as Luminosity is going to switch over to the CT side.
And I mean, these scoreboards, they have flipped in comparison to the performance on Inferno. If you recall, it was FNS top of the board for compLexity there, with 140 ADR at something at halftime. Now, instead, Luminosity, they're the man with that impressive statistic. It's Yell, top of the board, 130. He was coincidentally actually bottom of the board on the previous map. So him and FNS trading places. For compLexity, it has somewhat been the Android show. He's looked absolutely fantastic. Def and Ye definitely having their moments as well. But it's been FNS and PTR who've fallen a little bit quiet. Meanwhile, Luminosity side of things, Showtime, not really known for being a mad fragger. He's the man with the brains. Makes those decisions. He's currently bottom of the board, but that doesn't really matter when Yell is having a performance like this.
Yeah, Nekas as well. A couple of very big rounds from him on the T side. See how it has. This is the half when you switch over to the CT side. This is the half they were up, what, I think it was 6-1 against SK yesterday before they kind of collapsed. But they obviously know how to play the CT side, know how to be very impressive on the CT side. It's just a matter of whether they can keep it up for the entirety of the 15-round half. Still just waiting for the players to get things started here at ESL Pro League.
Yeah, and it took 2 tactical pauses yesterday for SK Gaming to figure out how to break this Luminosity CT side. compLexity, a team of lesser experience than SK. They are going to have their work cut out for them now as Luminosity move into this CT side. It was looking like it was going to be a dominant half, but the recovery comes in towards the end. Luminosity, they managed to chain 4 rounds together to pull it back to a more than respectable 7-8 scoreline. So heading into this second half, it is going to be tricky, and compLexity, well...
I mean, here, the thing is, compLexity, we know they like to take their T-sides slowly and do a lot of defaults, occasionally throwing in a wrinkle, but that's the majority of the terrorist rounds we'll see out of them. And when you do something like that, it's going to give an opportunity for Yell to have a very big half, because you're spread out, you're taking it slow, some decent opportunities for an AWPer to find, you know, the shot he wants, the fight he wants, take a peek, see if he can grab someone kind of getting lazy and losing focus. So we'll see. It's a good chance for Yell to really rack up some of the fantasy scores. You can see the restarts coming in. We are live into the pistol. compLexity has switched over to the T side. They had an 8-7. They have an 8-7 lead going into this game. They're going into the second half. No utility for the compLexity side either, so this has got to be a pretty hard-hitting strategy, you would imagine. Making some noise, perhaps trying to... Very shallow imitation of a B rush, and it's going to turn into an A split. Here comes Android leading the way down. They're going to jump through the window. That'd be a big opening kill to get. It's Yell to defend, and he's going to get wrapped upon. Nothing to do. Android does fall to PKL from the B bomb site. Showtime can't handle the hit. The A bomb site is lost, and on the rotation now, Ye has great positioning from beneath the balcony. Def stuck between 2 players. There's the swing out from Cello, but Peter's got his teammates back, and it's a 1-on-3. Neck is with a kill. Can he get any more? Peter playing the crossfire very well up on top, running out of bullets. Neck is just going to fall.
Yeah, a bit of an odd round there in terms of the buys. Luminosity didn't have a kit, so they had to move very, very quickly in that retake. They had no utility either. Either side actually had no utility, which is an interesting one. Not every day we see that call get made. But compLexity, they'll take that all day long. Now, can they convert on the back of that pistol round win? If they can, they're going to be looking at an 11-7 lead. But it all comes down to this round. It's Luminosity in with a mirrored buy of what we saw two teams now, compLexity and SK, use to shut down their forces. It's going to be CZs across the board, all with the exception of Neckers, who has that scout. And already aggression over here in mid. Yell is about to get tested. Def and Android, they are so close. They're almost touching one another, and there we go. They go into his arms. He only gets one. Showtime's here to refrag, and he drops them both. That's the bomb down in mid, and now suddenly PTI is sweating. He's going to start to make his way in, does find Showtime, but he's 1v3. And this is no easy feat. There's so many guns down in mid as well. If he leaves this area, that's going to be bearing a lot of fruit for Luminosity, for these players that haven't had the luxury of upgrading. PTR knows this, doesn't want to go ahead and leave this area, and he's trying to play a bit of a mind game here.
Just by the benefit of his silence and his patience, Luminosity is going to be going for information. There's a nice kill. Doesn't lose any HP in the process, so that's quite nice. 40 seconds left for PTR to get tricky. Walking up these stairs. Both players from Luminosity reasonably close. Neck is watching drop. Actually, no, he's watching into the A site for the cross, and there it is. He does get tagged down. I don't think Peter's going to expect the second player to be on balcony. I think he expects him to be over at B, and that is his undoing. Those CZs, man. 4 kills for him, I believe, in this in that round. That's pretty brutal. Look at Showtime here. Easy, easy stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, the 4CZ scout buy has been the demise of many a team on Cbble now, Jason. We haven't actually seen a team convert the on the back of the pistol.
Everything was going so well for so long when the CZs were no longer popular. Now, we did have, like, the Tech 9, which is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
But now that they're back, I just want them to go away again. It's like, please. Please, no more of this.
It's weird, because it's almost it's the same nerf. People have just kind of learnt to work with it. There's been a few changes here and there, but it's no. I mean, it used to be insanely strong.
I mean, I think that tells more about how strong the Tech 9 was, that people used the CZ over it. Now that the Tech 9's been nerfed to oblivion. Spray from the UMP, that's a good trade, and Cello's going to grab 2 with the M4 at distance. There goes PKL. Cello's got the CZ out at long range and not able to complete the kill. FNS has got to go hunt him down if he can, and bomb's trying to be planted, and it's some missed shots, but oh, FNS ran out of bullets, and now he's for the birds. All tied up at 9-9.
Yeah, they are actually able to convert. Luminosity, they finally managed to get that done. And a chance now, sorry, for them to take their breath a little bit. It's going to be 2 SMGs to farm some cash in at this round, and they would love that. It's going to be PKL over here and Drop Down, who I'm really looking to see if he can make some quick, easy money. Instead, it's 3 players over towards long. Neckers finds the first, and that's going to go ahead and send compLexity back. Not too keen on the idea of pushing in to this man. He's been a bit of a monster in a lot of these rounds for Luminosity. Yeah, he is kind of just being a bit of a...
He's very good at initiating contact. He's very good at taking the fights that he wants, finding the fights that he wants to take. So he's done a good job for Luminosity on both sides of the map. In the early stages of this season, definitely a player to watch out for. It looks like he's made a lot of progress in his individual game since I saw him last, which I think the last time I really had a good chance to see him play, I want to say it was the PGL Major North American qualifiers. It looks much, much better than he did back then. Don't remember the same level of impact. So he's been great on the T side, now on the CT doing very well on the B platform, and just one flashbang on FNS. When does he choose to throw it?
Yeah, they start to sneak out through mid. That flashbang can make all the difference here when it comes to engaging Showtime. He has support from Yell with the scout. Flash gonna go in. Showtime's fully blind, but they don't check it. The flash is there for a reason, and Showtime, he gets himself 2. PKL's there to swoop in and mop up the rest down at the end. Luminosity with the 10th. The SMGs get 4 kills between them. That is a nice bit of money made. And now the buy can come back in for compLexity.
Yeah, no AWP on PTR. They've got the 5 AKs. They've got good utility as well. Everyone's got some flashbangs and a smoke. At least one of each. See if they've got in store for us in these gun rounds. Yell's still with the scout. Coming through looks like it could have been on track, but the X-ray is deceiving because Yell's actually 2 walls between that. Ye didn't see Neka's jump, and Nekas is going to win that spam battle. Nekas obviously saw him, but another opening kill for this rising star. This yesterday was the aggression we saw from Luminosity. Now that I'm seeing this, they did a lot of mid-round aggression out towards this long B hallway, and really took control of it a number of times. They're doing it again here. I feel like I've said his name a lot, but it's going to be Nekas to take up that point. And coming back and seeing this smoke, FNS might be aware of it, but he can't win the battle anyways. Another smoke going down, but Nekas has no HP. No chance in that fight. Here's Cello watching for drop. And the round is virtually all over, and now it's pretty sealed.
Yeah, just PTR left. You don't fancy his odds. 1v4, 3 players inside of this site, 1 wrapping round from behind. Peek does come in from PKL. He's going to go down. Just manages to dodge past Showtime, but Yell is able to pick things up. Luminosity on to an 11th round. And that's the economy of complexity reset once more. They can't seem to catch a break here on their T side, whereas Luminosity, as we know, their CT side versus SK was fairly impressive. It took SK a long while to actually figure out how to finally overpower that CT side from Luminosity. And a lot of it did come from that long B aggression. You kind of brought it up, and I imagine it's not going to be the last time we see it cropped into this defense.
Well, there is a buy-up of pistols, but complexity declines utility. So they've got to rely on just some straight-up duels being won by the CZs or by these Deagles, and heavy attack towards A-holes. Luminosity in the driver's seat of this match. Maybe one more gun round for complexity to get into it. That'd be the next round as the losing bonus builds up. I imagine we'll be able to see PTR with an AWP in that round as well. And about halfway up that long A portion of the map, complexity decides they didn't like it. Spidey sense was tingling. It's going to be a drop attack. Now, once they make this noise, since they have no utility, it's kind of like you just got to go, which is tough with the pistols, but Android obviously knows how to use the Deagle. Cello spraying at the rock, gets one. They need trades, but teammate is here. PKL. Gonna take that long-range fight, wins that. He is dinked down. Android hasn't been able to peek, blinded by a flashbang. There's the kill coming out. It's a headshot, which is unnecessary, but it looks good. 2-on-2, and Android caught in the open. That's heartbreaking because Def was making a play. He's going to try and have this flank, and that footstep should give it up. Showtime watching. A 12th for Luminosity. A big round coming up here at 12-9.
Yeah, I mean, for complexity, this is their penultimate chance of putting a stop to the Luminosity train. They're going to get one more buy-in before that match point will be secured by Luminosity in the event they lose this. But still, it's a small bit of breathing room they've got. 12-9. Let's not forget complexity had a pretty big lead early on in this matchup. Of course, it took Luminosity winning 4 rounds at the end of that last half to finish off 8-7. Since then, pretty much everything has gone their way.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, especially because, I mean, this has kind of artificially inflated the complexity scoreline in this. It almost feels like it's a bigger blowout for Luminosity. They've been by far the dominant team on this. There's 2 CZ rounds that complexity won in the first half. Now, to be fair, I think Luminosity won the second round here in the similar fashion. So, I mean, it can go both ways to a certain degree. But it has looked overall like Luminosity has had a better feel for the map. Not necessarily played better, but seemingly has put themselves in better positions more often. Still a good fight from complexity coming out. Would like to see them be able to respond here and continue that fight after a dominant Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, Luminosity, they've definitely woken up, though. If you want to talk about performances from Inferno, they're starting to look more like the Luminosity we're used to seeing. And while Neckers is on over here on platform, yeah, he's boosted up, and this is to try and catch him off guard in the event of this peak. He's going to get flashed into it. Yeah, he ducks down. PTR is going to be the one to drop Neckers. Early Bird gets the worm, and PTR just rose up before Ye was able to get the angle. Now they line up the smokes and flashes. Look at this from Showtime, though. He's all the way out through mid. The rotations have come in for Luminosity. And as compLexity go in, they are moving into quite a stacked site. Yell takes that first pick. There's no trade. PKL's here in the cubby, shuts down one. Before he gets silenced, the Yell has to try and buy some time for Showtime to show up. And Yell, well, he's in with a second. They still haven't even discovered Cello. And now PTR back against the wall. Players either side of him. Surely he doesn't survive this. PTR gets one. But that is it. He's not long for this world as Showtime locks in at 13th for Luminosity.
Yeah, Showtime almost ruined that with some wild spray, but he does finish it off in the end. PTR able to spin and get one kill, but can't reload the op fast enough, or just can't fire off enough shots. 13-9, a big win there for Luminosity, and compLexity's in buy mode. They do have the full losing bonus, so they can put together something decently strong. No AWP on Peter. Now, not going to pick up the pace, it looks like. Actually, maybe they will. Yeaster try to time this Molotov. And as they get close to this smoke, they've used a lot of their utility to fake a B rush. Now, I don't know if they just called it off because of the presence, but they've got no more flashbangs. They've got 2 smokes, and that's it. So that was a lot of investment into that tactic towards B that doesn't yield them anything, really, except for the fact it does yield them a solo Showtime at the A bomb site. They've got to get up here quick before the rotations come in because Yell is on his way with the AWP. So is PKL and Neckers. And there's no smoke in these choke points. We saw Luminosity have them earlier. There's the flick down. It's a leg shot and Showtime goes down. Neckers, or excuse me, PKL can't get more than one. But Neckers has arrived. Does he want to fight for it?
But look at this late lurk from FNS. He hasn't been having the best of games, but you feel like he can't mess this up. He's in for a behind. Oh. Oh.
You think he can't mess it up, yeah. But then he really tried to show you up there.
Yeah, he kind of dropped the ball on that one. Yeah. Now it's just Neckers left 1v3.
I think he was surprised the save call came in at that point. He's hoping to turn the corner and just get a free kill on the back, and wasn't ready for that jumping around. I don't know why Neckers is still sticking around, to be completely honest with you. Perhaps thinking that they won't clear all this, that they'll think he already went for the save, and if he stays this close to the bomb, he'll remain undetected.
Hiding right under their nose.
Surely he's not going for the defuse. No, it's too late now.
I was going to say, Neckers, I mean, he's done some pretty ballsy stuff, but that would take the cake.
Well, a clever little save there for Neckers using the sound cues. Well done. Ooh, Def might walk right into it. Ooh, half a second away. 13-10, compLexity still fighting on. That was a much faster round than we're used to seeing out of them on this T side, so maybe that change of pace kind of threw off Luminosity's timing with the rotation. But the economy for the defense on the verge of being depleted. All 5 players for compLexity. No more defaults, it looks like. It looks like they just want to go right into it. Flashbang over. Neckers is not blind, but he turns from one. Cello with the opening kill is important. Oh, he's got 2 more. Oh, he's going huge, but he's out of bullets. It's all he's got, but he's done enough. He sandwiched them at a very difficult choke point, and it's all down to PTR again. Spots 1. Clutch situation. Not being very aware of his surroundings. Yell, I don't think had fired a bullet that whole round until just then, so maybe just didn't notice that he was going to be there. And Cole can't string them together. Pause to talk things over. They might just have to invest in this round.
Yeah, I mean, for compLexity, it's an awkward spot to be in. I mean, Def, he can grab himself an AK. FNS could go for a Galil, or maybe we see a few players opt for no head armor, which versus the M4 isn't ideal, but could definitely go for that, even if he just drops the AK over to someone else. It is going to be a tricky one, though. If you're compLexity, you know, Jason, what do you do in this sort of scenario? I mean, you kind of run the risk. Do you either fight for 5 match points in a row and then take it through to OT, or do you go for the force buy now? You've had a decent streak with the Force by wins.
I think if you're a compLexity, because your T side hasn't been great, you've only got, what, I think 2 rounds so far in this half, 10 rounds in. Since it hasn't been great, I think you have to buy here, because you are in a situation where you got some kills in the previous round. Their economy was low just a couple of rounds ago. You knew you kind of had them on the ropes. You go for this round here because if you win it, you break their money, and that will give you an easier route of closing the gap. Because I don't think based off this success, remember, one of the rounds that compLexity won was the pistol round. So they've only won 1 actual gun round. So you can't feel too confident that you'll all of a sudden have the answer to rattle off 5 straight.
I'm going to try and make it work with the little bit they have been able to afford. Def has the AK, 2 UMPs, a Deagle on Android. He has been fantastic with the Deagle, so hopefully he can replicate that success. He's the first man out in drop. And they're wrapping on round. There is a man here. It's Yell, but uncharacteristically going to miss that shot. And that's given up a lot of ground. Smoke goes down as well. And they leave FNS behind now to try and hold all these rotations. Showtime is in the corner at long, and they're going to line up for him. He's in with a second. Oh, and 3. As Yell shuts down Android, it all falls to FNS. He can't get it done. And Luminosity, they are in with a 15th. They're going to go ahead and reach match point. And I mean, what a way to do it. Look at this from Showtime. This was wonderful. He finds that first, does great damage onto the second guy that peeks, and then him and Yell, the synergy there to mop that up.
I mean, it's obviously not the prettiest sequence of kills we've ever seen, but it's a testament to how smart the angle was he takes. Because it's also, remember, it's also a calculated risk. He doesn't know if there's anyone coming behind him through long A. He just has to kind of trust that the smoke is going to provide enough cover and dissuade anyone from jumping through it. But he knows he has to give Yell backup. Yell was the important player deeper into the site with the AWP. You need to buy him time to get into position, and he did just that with 3 kills. So not the most crisp aim or a sequence of headshots that's going to make you throw your hands in the air, but it certainly does the job. 2 smokes, 4 flashbangs, and pistols. That's all compLexity has to offer into this round. FNS is on the other side of the map, just watching for push-ups. He's going to meet up with his team eventually before they make this hit, but he's making sure no one from Luminosity gets an early read or an early flank.
Yeah, they've been allowed some control down in drop. They get that for free. Now the rest of the guys creeping up long. Smoke goes down from Neckers to keep them all away. There's still 3 players over here toward A. It's a lot of pressure on Neckers and Cello. Smoke's lined up from compLexity around about the 35, yeah, I was going to say 35 second mark. They throw those in. Smokes have now dissipated, and now they're going to go for this. Neckers is in the cubby. This position has been devastating. Surely they don't check it. Cello, surely they do check it, rather. Neckers goes down. Yell's able to go to get himself one, but Cello, he's dropped the bomb out in the open. They have to try and push in to get it. FNS on the back line, look, does manage to find it, so we're into a 3-on-3, but Cello still hasn't been flushed out. And he keeps getting it done. It's all on FNS 1v3, and he can't make it happen. And that will be Luminosity to go ahead and win that out. It was looking like it would have been compLexity's match at one point in time, but they emerged victorious.
Yeah, a really nice recovery from Luminosity, especially because in the first half, I mean, they had a lot of struggles. And, I mean, once again, the CT side, you could see, you know, I mentioned that they had gone up, what, 6-1 or 7-1 against SK yesterday. So obviously knowing how to play that CT side, and here against compLexity, obviously not able to find the solution against that defense. So very dominating performance, I think. And actually, I mean, if we're going to be nice to the analysts, which we will be once in a while, they did both say that it was going to be kind of like a blowout for Luminosity. I think outside of, if it wasn't for those 2 CZ rounds in that half that they lost, that would have been a much larger gap in the scoreline. Either way, I've got them here with me. Welcome back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk. Don't know why we hired Trace. I can handle everything.
I'm liking this. This is great. Cruise control is on, Jason. Thank you very much. That's right. You guys were wrong. No, I'm kidding. I believe they were right. I think Jason is just obviously blowing some steam off. But we know him to get. He's a little hothead around the studio sometimes. We kind of just.
He's a little man, you know. It's okay.
He's a grown man, and for that, we'll let that happen. Either way, Luminosity grabbing the map, guys. Talk to me about what we saw.
I mean, we saw Yell once again just go completely off. I feel like it's becoming a norm for him as of the season thus far. He's by far Luminosity's best player and by far the most influential player, especially with AWP. So it was great to see him play well once again, and it seems like he's finally, you know, breaking through that. So, you know, he's been playing well for Luminosity for some time, but it is the star player, and he needs to be the star player, especially in games like this. We talk a lot about how they may or may not make top 6, and in games like this, they need to grab as many points as possible. And without Yell today, I think it would have been a much more worse time for them.
Yeah, and even though they do have Yell to kind of bail them out of a bit of a rough start here, it is worrying the fact that they do drop the ball and, you know, 2 anti-ecos lost. That's something that shouldn't happen. Obviously, it happens with every team. I mean, the Pistols are ridiculously strong, you know, as they are right now. So it is an issue that a lot of teams run into. But yeah, you would like to see that getting cleaned up. And we've already seen some shakiness from them, especially that cash game versus Renegades, and obviously like how they started the avalanche really for SK on Cobblestone as well. That was also off the back of losing to Pistols. So that's definitely something they need to clean up. Obviously easier said than done, but they do at least have something to fall back on in you know, having star players like, or potentially emerging star players, and a guy like L.
Well, compLexity, Luminosity is settled. The dust has settled. And on top of that, we're going to be going into a little bit of Rogue and Ghost action and try to make up for some of this time, brought on, of course, by the CSGO update. We're going to be cutting to a quick commercial break here, and so you better be with us when we come back because we've got 2 more sets of maps for you guys. That's 4 in total. Make sure you're here with us. We'll be right back.
Incendiary out.